Greetings, fellow YouTubians. This morning I finally finished leveling up my Sun team, so I wanted to, in honor of that, do some Wi-Fi battling using the Smogon Wi-Fi Battle Finder. And this battle ended up going so well, I wanted to make it my first narrated Wi-Fi battle. So, here we go. This is against a person named Ironman. At the end of the match, he became very upset, spoilers, with me, and said some very nasty things to me, so I'm not going to link you to him, even if I had a link for him, but his name is Ironman. This is my Terrakion versus his Cresselia. It's actually a Stealth Rock Terrakion, but I figured Cresselia would have either Ice Beam or Psychic, and I knew I could not take that, so I switched to my Espeon. I ended up being right about the Ice Beam, which Espeon took like a champ. And I set up a Reflect, which I don't think really made a huge difference since his is a mostly special ring team. But it sure didn't hurt. I decided to go for Shadow Ball. I know Cresselia is known for being defensive and for being a wall, but Espeon does have really good special attack. However, I did not get the special defense boost, and it did nothing. So I took the Ice Beam, which, again, Espeon took like a champ. Way to go, Espeon. And switched him out, I don't know, for my Drought Ninetales, nicknamed Crepuscular Rays, fun fact, are when you can see visible rays of sunlight because of dust and clouds in the air. And that's one of my favorite words, so, yep. Probably a pretty good prediction on his part, except the moonlight would be buffed by the sun. I'm not really sure why I went for Will-o'-the-Wisp instead of Fire Blast, but well, I sure burned that Cresselia. Go me! Its attacks real half now, and it paralyzed my Ninetales, which sucks because this is a Choice Scarf Ninetales. It's got max speed and max speed investment, which has come in useful a large number of times in the one day I've been running this Sun team. He comes back with his Politoed, putting Rain up on top of my Sun. This will be a theme for this battle. The Weather War continues almost to the very last turn. I'm terrible at spoiling battles, aren't I? So I switched into my Chandelure. I did not know he was coming out with his Politoed. I switch immediately from Chandelure, knowing that I cannot take a Drizzle Hydro Pump back into Espeon, who probably will die, but will at least let me get a free switch in to something that will be able to take a Hydro Pump pretty well, namely my Victory Bell. Hold on, let the battle catch up to my narration. This Victory Bell is mainly special attacker. It does have some attack investment for Leaf Blade, but it's got Weather Ball and Hidden Power Ice. It's nearly max Hidden Power Ice, and without Sun Up, I knew I wasn't going to outspeed this Latios, so I switched back into my Terrakion. I knew he was coming with Psychic or Psyshock, and I would not be able to take either of those, so I went into my Volcarona, which has pretty boss special defense, and takes this Psychic, like a champ. Champ and easy! I decided to go for a Quiver Dance, since that an unboosted +0 Psychic didn't take me below half. So I decided to go for Quiver Dance to get my special defense up mostly, although of course the speed and special attack bonus aren't hurting. And he switches into his Raikou. I honestly don't remember if Bug resists electric or not. I guess it does, because he never goes for a Thunder, even though we're still in the rain at this point. My Quiver Dance does not allow me to outspeed Raikou, which is not surprising. Raikou's pretty fucking fast. But the special defense bonus does come in handy because we spend quite a while trading attacks. His extra sensory versus my Bug Buzz. And honestly, Leftovers on Volcarona is the reason I win this. Because if I had Life Orb, I probably would die to Recoil before he managed to die to my Bug Buzzes. Because he's going to come back with a Calm Mind in a second. And even though I think I do get a special defense drop from Bug Buzz, if I was running Life Orb, he would almost certainly be able to wear me down to the point where he'd be able to outlive me. So, good call on putting the Leftovers on Volcarona. Thumbs up. It's going to take one more Bug Buzz. I do get the special defense drop, I was right. It's going to take one more Bug Buzz for me to get this Raikou. And I'll take one more extra sensory, but because of my special defense buff and because of the leftovers, I will be in reasonably okay shape to take on whatever comes next. I also knew that of all the things on his team, if you were to switch, everything would at least take Bug Buzz neutrally, if not especially super effective damage because of his Latios. So I knew that Bug Buzz was going to be a good choice. Volcarona later ends up being a hero, and you'll see why. But as for right now, he's switching into his Latios. We are still in rain, so I didn't want to use Fiery Dance, because even if I did get the special attack buff, it would be a 40 power move, so that wouldn't do me any good. So I stuck with Bug Buzz, especially knowing Latios is weak to that, and it one-hit KO'd, which is great. Thanks again to the speed buff. I was worried he was Scarf Latios, but he wasn't. This is where Volcarona really shines, because I kept Hurricane on it just in case I was playing a rain team. And the 100% accuracy of the... Oops, sorry about that. The 100% accuracy of the Hurricane, and my Heracross is not particularly fast, but even if it's a choice Heracross, Scarf Heracross, excuse me, the Quiver Dance let me get in ahead of that and just take him out with one Hurricane. Now he's going to come back with this Politoed, and I sat here and thought for a while about whether I should do Bug Buzz or Hurricane, and I figured Politoed has pretty good special defense, and probably neither were going to one-hit KO it, so I'd at least try for the Confuse. I ended up not getting it, and he's going to come back with Hydro Pump, which will take out my Volcarona, but Volcarona took out 3 of his Pokemon, so he did his job. He did his job pretty well. Now that Politoed is in, I'm going to come back with my Ninetales and put up the Sun again, which, like I told you, we have several more turns, and this is a theme. I did sit here and think I will probably not take a Hydro Pump even in the Sun, because Ninetales is not known for its defense. So I switched into Victory Bell, which would take Hydro Pump. Awesome, because grass resists water. And I go for a Growth. I figured that he would want to switch his Politoed back for something, and then back in, so I could get rid of my Chlorophyll boost, which makes my Victory Bell blazing fast. Big props out to NecroStevo for breeding this Victory Bell for me. It's awesome. Against Cresselia, after this growth boost, I have Leaf Blade, Weather Ball, and Hidden Power Ice, and none of those are going to be super effective, and I did math, and Weather Ball is going to be the strongest in this particular instance, just base power-wise, plus my special attack is slightly higher than my regular attack. Weather Ball does not KO the Cresselia, it leaves it with just barely any health, and his Ice Beam is going to take out my Victory Bell. Victory Bell, every battle I've used it in has been a one-move wonder. It gets off... Smogon says that if you get off a growth, it's going to eat everything in the face, and that's not accurate. It gets one growth, and it takes out one thing maybe, and then it gets killed. But that's okay, because my Chandelure is definitely going to be faster than this Cresselia, because it has max speed investment. And it has almost max speed IVs, I think. And Chandelure Shadow Ball is nothing to sneeze at. So Chandelure takes out the Cresselia. I'm sure that burn damage did a whole lot of help. Thanks for that earlier Ninetales. I don't know what I was thinking. Alright, so, and as I said, he brought his Politoed back in for Drizzle, so I'm Specs Chandelure, and I know Chandelure Shadow Ball is really strong, but Politoed also, as I said earlier, has pretty good special defense. So I figured I'd go back and bring the Sun back. I feel like that little chicken rooster kid in that one movie, Rock-a-Doodle-Doo, Rain versus Sun, except this is a frog and not an owl, and I've lost track of my metaphor. Turns out Ninetales can take a Hydro Pump in the Sun, and I thought he would switch. Honestly, I thought he would switch, and so I went for Solar Beam. My Ninetales and my Chandelure both run Solar Beam for the one-turn grass move in the Sun, and Ninetales cannot take 2 Hydro Pumps, even in the Sun. So, but the Sun is up. So I go back into Chandelure, which I know will outspeed Politoed, and I do go for Solar Beam, which does KO the Politoed. So now, seems like I've got Sun for the rest of the battle, and all he's got left is a Vaporeon. So I should be in great shape, because I know Chandelure is going to outspeed a Vaporeon. I figure that since he's running a rain team, this is a hydration Vaporeon, so it's probably going to be running Rest and maybe Scald and Wish. And Vaporeon does have a billion HP, so even though Solar Beam is one turn, it ends up not one-hit KOing the Vaporeon. It survives with just a barely a sliver. We're in the sun, but Vaporeon comes back with Rain Dance. And my Spec Chandelure is now locked into Solar Beam in the rain. And he does... I wasn't sure if he was going to go for Rest or for Scald. I know that a 2-turn Solar Beam is not going to do me any good, so I switch back into my Terrakion. At this point, all I've got is Chandelure and Terrakion, and all he's got is Vaporeon. He goes for the Rest, and I decide, go through my options, and I decided to go for a Fighting Gym Close Combat. And I thought, well, Vaporeon isn't just great at physical defense, but it turns out that its massive amount of HP, I don't know what IVs it had, but its massive amount of HP and its not awful defense let it survive just barely. He does come back with a Scald in the rain off of Vaporeon's really nice special attack, which does one-hit KO my Terrakion. So Terrakion didn't really do anything it was supposed to do. It didn't set up Stealth Rocks. It didn't Fighting Gym Close Combat didn't one-hit KO anything, but it did take it down to a level that even a Shadow Ball or Fire Blast even from Chandelure can finish it. And I know Chandelure's going to outspeed it because I did earlier, and I do go for the safe Shadow Ball. If I'd gone for Fire Blast and missed and he got another Scald in, I would never forgive myself. And the Shadow Ball does one-hit KO, or no, it does finish off the Vaporeon, and that leaves me with a 1-0 win. And Mr. Ironman was pretty displeased that my Sun team beat his Rain team, mostly in the rain, and he said some pretty nasty things to me over the Smogon Battle Finder. But I don't care because I won! Woo! Go me! Alright, hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you next time.